I've got my notes and stuff.
Ooh. I didn't take any notes.
I did.
Which I should have done.
It's important for this sort of film that I do take notes, because they usually form a sort of mind map connections between characters. And I wrote down my prediction at the bottom corner.
Oh, that's good. I nearly recorded myself doing my prediction.
I wondered if I should have said, but we didn't say. So. But I took a note of when in the film I was writing it down, so that that's not exactly proof, but you trust me.
I can vouch for him. He turned to me and said, I think I know who did it, and then wrote something down.
Yeah.
He could now lie to us all about what it was he wrote down.
Did you write who did the murder and then underline it 3 times?
Question mark.
Question mark.
I miss Spencer Confidential, the 5th best whodunit we've seen in this club. We've only seen 3 others.
Distinct lack of Mark Wahlberg.
That was the main thing I thought about this film. Needs more Wahlberg.
Yeah. Should I play the music? We're a minute 20 in. We've basically already discussed it all.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. The mirror cracked.
The mirror cracked.
Side to side.
Indeed.
Was there a mirror?
Was there a mirror?
I wasn't aware of a mirror in this film. One of my questions was, why is it called this?
Maybe
Elizabeth Taylor stares into a mirror.
Yeah, there is definitely at least one mirror.
Yeah.
When Lola's getting changed. And
so there's at least
the detective sees her in the mirror.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, it's a line from that poem, isn't it?
Oh, what's the poem?
The one, what she says.
I don't remember now.
It's a Tennyson
from
poem.
The Lady of Shalott.
Yes.
Oh, The Lady of Shalott. Was it in there?
The curse has come upon me, cried.
Out flew the web and floated wide. The mirror cracked from side to side. The curse has come upon me, cried the Lady of Shalott.
Brilliant.
That's on the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Not in my brain. For the record.
Who was the Lady of Shalott?
I think she was really into onions, but only very small ones.
That Shalott. Sorry. Oh, maybe we should cut up to here.
Yeah, play the music again.
Oh, I don't need to, do I?
Yeah, I'll just cut it in right here.
Cut out my little bit of poetry as well. You can...
Yeah, I'll release that as a separate episode, like Laura's Robin Hood bit.
Spectacular.
This was a whodunit, featuring the late, great Angela Lansbury, who sadly left us only a few weeks ago. And I think the day, or maybe the day after she had died, we had a meeting, and I thought, if I get chosen this time round, I'd better pick an Angela Lansbury film. And I was, and I did.
What were the other options? Remember how you gave us 3 options?
Yeah. I said you can have a murder mystery, which was this one, The Mirror Cracked, or an atmospheric horror film, which was a film that you are absolutely going to love if you watch it, Laura.
Have watched it.
The Company of Wolves.
I watched it on the train to Manchester.
Brilliant. Did you like it?
Gutted that we're not discussing that.
Well, you're going to get a pick. And the other one was some thing from the 40s or something.
The King's Court, or the Court
King's
Jester?
Court, yeah, something like that. Yes, the Court Jester, in which she played Princess Gwendolyn in 1955. Which sounds like I haven't watched that one yet, so choose away. But anyway, we went for this one, and she was an excellent Miss Marple, I thought.
Yes.
I've never seen a Miss Marple story before, never read one, never listened to one, don't know anything about it. But I liked her.
Oh, Miss Marple's great.
Yeah.
She's nosy, but in a useful way for society.
Yeah, okay.
I've read one Miss Marple, again, because I mistakenly thought it was Poirot. that I was bringing on my holiday, and then I got stuck with it, but it was great. I really liked Miss Marple.
What was it?
Oh, what was it called? Like the Chipping Claycorn Gazette or something?
Okay.
No, it wasn't called that. It was just set in Clipping Chegghorn. I can't remember. I'll have to.
Okay.
In fact, I think Clipping Chegghorn.
Yeah.
Might as well be, right?
I've listened to quite a few radio adaptations. Radio 4's usually got at least one Miss Marple in the drama section.
That's good. Well, they're very dialogue heavy, aren't they? So it sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did we think of this film?
Good.
Yeah, good.
It was a good film.
That's 3 goods, and I'm going to say bad.
Right, interesting.
Didn't like it very much.
Oh.
Of course.
Maybe we could go up to fine.
I'd say it was
down.
Yeah.
I knew that you would not like it, Mike.
Was that because you do like it?
Yes.
It's rare that we agree on a film. So it had its moments, but why did you guys like this film?
Claire, you go first.
It was easy to watch, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's like any Poirot or Miss Marple, you just sort of get carried along with the story and get to like and dislike some of the characters, and then everything gets all resolved neatly and satisfyingly, and it's nice in a reassuring, comforting sort of way.
Yeah,
Same.
Not too challenging, was it?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Fernando, what did you think?
Well, I mean, I not only liked it because of what has already been said, but also because it wasn't in black and white. As in, when it started in black and white, I was like, oh, I had forgotten that these films exist. But then, but then it changed to color. I'm like, thank God. I immediately like this.
Pulled a fast one on you there.
Yeah, I skipped forward because I was like, oh Christ, it's the wrong film.
Did you skip forward to the big reveal at the end?
I skipped forward by an hour and 40 minutes. No, I didn't. I skipped to minute 11 and then saw Angela Lansbury and I was like, oh, thank God. So let's go back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So why did you not like it, Michael?
I thought it was basically just a bit weak. I thought most of the performances were a bit weak. I thought most of the dialogue was very point A to B to C. Not much like interaction. The actors could almost have been delivering their lines in separate rooms and have them cut together afterwards. It was very much someone would have a speech for 30 seconds and then someone else would have their speech for 30 seconds. And none of it really appeared very true somehow. One of the things that made me realise this was when Marina does her little speech about, oh, you must help me. I'm so frightened of whatever. And the Inspector Craddock, calls her out on it and says, oh, that's just a line from one of your films. I thought, oh, that should be good, except all of them are talking like that all the time.
Yeah.
They're kind of all talking like slightly over the top Hollywood actors. And that's not really good. Yeah. So I didn't particularly like any of the characters except Miss Marple. Didn't particularly hate any of them. Basically, I thought it was a good plot that probably wasn't worth an hour and 40 minutes. And yeah, just dragged a bit. It was entertaining enough.
I did think it went on a bit long. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure I agree. Maybe I do. Maybe some of the scenes were a bit... What's that? Cold.
Yeah. A bit flat, I'd say.
Yeah.
That said, I quite liked the basic story and the puzzle of it. I thought was quite good. I was trying to work it out myself and I was making my prediction and all of that. And it was nice having that resolution at the end. But there were problems with that as well. There were questions that weren't answered that I found very unsatisfying. And I wonder if it was better done in the novel.
Oh, what were your questions?
So this is quite deep in, but should we summarise what happened in the end? Who had done the murder?
Yeah. No, let's do our predictions. When did you... No, you're right. Let's summarise. Sorry, you were right. Your instinct was right.
Sure. Could you summarise, Laura?
Right. From the beginning. Just a quick...
Yes. Scene 1.
Why not?
Scene 1. What was scene 1?
Black and white.
Black and white.
The principals. Who were the principals?
Right, we had Marina Gregg, fading movie star, about to make a comeback.
Yeah.
She's just bought a big manor in the countryside. All the guests are there. Miss Marple's there. There's a young woman there. God, I'm terrible at summarising films. Someone take over. I've set it up.
Someone gets
Fernando.
murdered.
A young woman gets murdered.
Heather Babcock gets murdered, yeah.
Yeah.
An investigation gets done. And
we've got varying suspects. Not Marina, because we learn early on that the poisoner intended Marina to die.
Yes, it was the drink that was given to Marina, or the drink that Marina had. She ended up giving to Heather because Heather had spilt her drink, and she said, "Oh, I haven't touched this one. Have that." And so the consideration we were led to think that murder was intended to get Marina, and Heather was this sweet innocent that no one knew anything about.
Yes.
Except that bit was not related when she was interviewed by the person from Scotland Yard.
What bit wasn't?
Well, she didn't say that the drink was spilt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very suspicious.
That made the blood a little suspicious, yes.
Yes.
I made my prediction at around the time that... do you remember when Miss Marple and Cherry... Or no, it was Miss Marple and Inspector Craddock were talking to each other, and Miss Marple said, "It seems there's one piece of the puzzle missing, and you need that final piece of the jigsaw puzzle before everything falls into the place, and we'll have to find out what that piece is." That was when I wrote down my prediction. And my prediction was that Marina did it.
Nice.
And I had a whole idea, and I did get it wrong. I was correct that she did do it, but I thought she did it for what turned out to be the wrong reason.
What reason did you think?
Same for you, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah. So could you say why you thought, Laura? What was your resolution?
Mine was formula based. I didn't have that many predictions of why she'd done it, but I now have a strategy whenever, because now I read loads of Poirot.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got Agatha Christie kind of pegged, and I can tell who's gonna be for the first time. This is the first time I've correctly guessed, even though I think I've sussed the formula a bit. There's usually some ambiguity, and I'm usually wrong, but this time I got it, and I was like, the key is at the beginning, ask yourself, who would you be most surprised to have turned out to have done it? And that was obviously Marina.
Yeah,
like she'd be the biggest twist. The person you think someone's trying to murder is actually the murderer. And I thought maybe she'd have done it because, I don't know, my brain didn't even bother filling in the gaps. I was like, I thought that she'd have done it out of disinterest and cruelty for some reasons of her own. I didn't think she was going to have this revenge plot against this innocent young woman that she'd only met once.
I think it would also have been similar to Death on the Nile, when basically it was the protagonist who did it as well.
Yeah.
Although was she the protagonist? I guess she was.
I think so, yeah. The woman, whose name I forget. Anyway. But yeah, she's done this before. I've read a Poirot of hers where there's a person you think that someone's trying to murder, and it turns out they're the one who's done it. So, she's recycled that one a bit, I think.
Oh, getting lazy.
Exactly.
I guess after the first 150 original novels, almost by accident you start recycling them, right?
Mm-hmm. What about you, other two? What did you think?
I went on the whole journey. I thought it was the secretary until she sneaked out of the house to go to the phone box, and I thought, that's too suspicious. Must not be her.
Yeah.
And then...
So she'd have done that because she was in love with Jason, the director.
Yes.
Yeah.
and Marina's husband.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so it became clear it was Marina. I'm not quite sure when. It occurred to me at some point that she was the only one that could have done it. And that the only reason... So I thought it was bizarre that, so was it Heather spilled her drink and then Marina gave her drink. And I thought, well, that's weird unless you've spilled it. Like, that's what you do if you spill someone's drink. You replace it.
Oh, clever.
And that didn't come up. And I was like, right, well, there's something missing there, so that must be when that happened.
Right.
She'd be the only one that knew that, and she's keeping that quiet for some reason. But I couldn't work out a motive. I thought it was some weird, like, not altruistic thing, but like when she said, and it probably was the happiest moment of her life.
Oh.
I thought it was some weird, like, putting her out of her misery or something. I thought it was going to be some deep philosophical thing, and then...
No, Heather gave her measles.
Yeah. That did... I did
Bit
not
problematic.
See that coming.
Yeah. Like...
Maybe we all have the reason wrong, and maybe isn't all of this was discussed without Marina actually saying why she killed her. And maybe the reason she killed her is because she was just too annoying. She kept talking and talking. I'm like, please shut up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
She was pretty annoying. Then again, I feel like
you're right. They never interviewed Marina about why she'd done it. She never confessed.
Yeah, it was all just her theory, right?
Yeah.
That's what Miss Marple thought.
That's a leap.
He could have just been like, well, murder is at least interesting.
Also, what did I fucking say? They always commit suicide at the end.
Yes.
Every time, Agatha. How about you bring someone to justice, Agatha?
We want a quick, clean ending.
It's usually just the women, though, isn't it?
Maybe. I feel
What
like
happens on Death in the Nile? Doesn't the guy kill himself?
No, the woman kills him and then herself.
Yeah.
I think it's often the men go to prison.
Okay.
Do they? I need to go back and think about my Poirots because I'm I'm struck by how often they kill themselves.
Interesting.
But yeah, the ones I'm thinking about are all women.
My resolution was Marina did it to frame these other people that she hated.
Oh.
A lot of people hated her, but she had far more reason to hate everyone else. She hated her husband, who was cheating on her. Mm-hmm. She hated the secretary, who was cheating with her husband. She hated
was cheating? What?
Yeah, actually, I thought that at first, and then as it went on, I thought, maybe not.
Serious? Yeah, of course she was. So Jason... Yeah, Miss Zielinski was in love with Jason, and they had been having an affair behind Marina's back, so they were very close. We saw him, like, touching her chin and, like, treating her in this very intimate way, just hinting at it, and then Marina said to her, you might as well come along to this. We seem to be sharing everything else these days.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what she meant.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there were a couple of other nods to it, just little...
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm not usually the one who gets this. Normally you guys have to be like... Actually, no, these days you have to rein me in, don't you? I'm like, oh, yes, obviously these two people were sleeping together. And you're like, no, Michael. They were just friends.
Yeah, you've taken over the gay symbolism, Gong. Don't think I haven't noticed.
Sorry. Heartbeats was a real turning point for me. So Marina hated... she also hated Lola for trying to replace her and for that whole thing that they'd had. And she hated Marty, the producer, for their whole enmity. And so, altogether, she wanted to frame somebody. And so she mixed this drink and contrived the whole thing to make it look like someone was trying to kill her by doing something, by literally putting a poisoned drink into someone else's hand, but also making it look like she was the one who was being attacked. Which
That's
is
way
genius.
better.
and then goes and hides herself away and does everything to try and make it look like she's innocent. So she makes these fake threat letters to come through, but pretends that she's hiding them from her husband, but does it in such a way that her husband can't fail to find out. She acts like she's having a breakdown and hides herself away from the world and sets it up so her husband is trying to stop anyone from talking to her because she's so weak. I thought it really worked out that whoever ended up being convicted for it would be someone that she hated. And I thought Heather Babcock was just sort of innocent bystander, just anyone in order to make that happen. And it didn't even occur to me that there was this, I'm going to say, really quite contrived thing about them meeting 10 years earlier and her happening to kiss her while she had the measles. I mean, it was there.
No, was there.
Yeah, we should have seen it coming.
I suppose.
They sold it all. Like, why would the doctor mention that she was healthy apart from having a bout of measles during the war? Why would Heather Babcock put so much emphasis on meeting her and saying, "Oh, but you let me kiss you"?
Yeah,
it was all there.
Yeah, and they did actually draw a touch. Yeah, you're right. It was there. I was wrong, but she did do it.
Yes, that being said, I think your plot is better.
Oh, thank you.
So maybe you should consider writing to someone. I don't know.
Well, that might have been her motivation.
That you're true. Yes, we did not hear from Marina.
We did not find out from her. So
I'm not convinced Marina killed that other woman.
Whoa!
That would be a good twist.
I think it was her husband because, if he was already cheating on Marina, then he wanted to have an excuse just to get rid of her wife and so that he could get married to the other woman. So I'm not convinced Marina did it. I think the husband killed Marina.
Okay.
Wait.
It was not a suicide.
But he admitted to trying to kill her. Who do you think killed Ella?
Well, that's the best way to just try to, I guess, avert someone from... If you already say that you wanted to kill someone, I guess that you've already admitted to something. Maybe people will no longer suspect you. Yes, so this is what happened.
Okay.
Her husband always wanted to be with the other woman, so ultimately he made it seem like Marina was the one who killed the woman, but no. This was all a plot so that he could elope with this other woman.
Oh, do you think he was drugging her so that she'd be fooled into thinking she'd killed him?
Yes, it was gaslight all over again.
Yeah.
Right. He orchestrated the whole thing.
I no longer buy the canonical narrative.
What is canon?
Nice.
Yeah.
I see a little creative writing competition coming up. I think we should all write an extra chapter.
Yeah.
Is it November? Is it the month that we are all meant to be writing?
I believe it is.
It is.
Should be able to knock out a chapter in about a day, shouldn't we? Do it tonight.
Yeah.
So we've got some of that. This all leads me to a few questions I have, and I don't know which of these are, oh, that's actually a plot hole, and which of these are like, oh, Michael, I can't believe you didn't get this. I've got 3 questions written down. One is, why kill Miss Zelinsky?
Yeah.
Because Miss Zelinsky did also die.
Yeah.
And why? What did that have to do with Heather Babcock and all of this? Was that just an unrelated murder that nobody...
she was going to work it out eventually, wasn't she?
Was she? I mean, anyone could have worked it out eventually.
To believe happened is that she was randomly calling people who were there to say, I know you did it. If you recall, someone mentions that at some point, like she was just calling people to say, and with the intention of working it out that way to see who responded in a guilty manner. So the implication is she told Marina that she knew that she did it, not actually knowing, and then Marina, feeling that she'd been cottoned onto, poisoned her.
It doesn't seem a very safe thing to do, does it? Just randomly accuse everyone individually of murder in such a way that makes it clear that if you do know, then killing you would preserve that silence. Yeah. I thought so. We only actually saw that she was doing it to Marty Fenn, right? That was the only time we actually saw the other person on the end of the telephone. So I assumed she'd just been doing that to him again and again. And that was my second question. Why was she threatening Marty when she actually had no idea? But she was doing it to everyone.
Person. I'm sure there was someone else we saw getting a phone call.
Oh,
I think it was Inspector Craddock who'd said, turns out she's been ringing around everyone.
Oh, okay.
And Miss Marple said, oh, God, yeah, probably shouldn't try and get caught up in murder that way, eh?
But yeah, Miss Marple had cottoned on that anyone who knew enough about the murder was a potential victim because she sent Cherry away, didn't she?
Mm.
Yeah, told us to get out of that house.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah. So she saw that threat.
Did you have any other questions?
Yeah. How did Marina die?
Yeah.
Because she didn't drink the hot chocolate, did she?
No.
It was untouched.
And he'd taken away her drugs.
He'd taken away her drugs. The hot chocolate was untouched. And they were like, wow, the hot chocolate hasn't been touched and she's not in her room. And then she was just dead in the other room. And they were like, how sad. And then the film ended. Were we supposed to know? Was it obvious?
She just gave up life.
Oh, I think she just took some other drugs that were around.
She just got something from somewhere. Why not drink the hot chocolate? No, she didn't realise it was poison.
That implicates her husband.
Oh, I see.
That makes him partially culpable, doesn't it?
Oh, dear.
How did she kill Ella?
She put, I don't know, like heroin or something in her...
nasal spray.
Yeah, in her nasal spray.
Yeah.
So she had access to other drugs that her husband was unaware of. That's a bit of a plot hole, I think.
That's right.
There was all that talk about phenobarbital, so...
No. I think she died by a heartbreak. She couldn't stand it anymore.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah. Maybe she died of what Anne Hathaway died of in Les Mis.
The consumption.
Yeah. She died of consumption.
Maybe she was really allergic to roses.
Plastic roses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's all the hay fever.
Yep. That's what it comes. That's what it always comes back to.
Marina died of hay fever.
To be fair, sometimes I felt like hay fever might be lethal on a really bad day.
Yeah.
Is hay fever simply an allergy to pollen?
Yes.
I think so.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And it's pretty mild.
Why do we have pollen?
Why do we have pollen? Why do we have plants?
Should get rid of all the plants.
Oh, I think this was a nice touch in the film, and I don't know for sure, but at the start, Miss Marple is pruning a rose bush, and I think it might be an eglantine rose, like her character in Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Oh, lovely.
I'd really like that to be true, so I'm saying it is.
Well, there was some pretty contrived stuff in this film, so maybe.
Yeah. I did enjoy it. I liked I thought they were having fun with it. Elizabeth Taylor and, is it Kim Novak? Whoever played, is it Lola?
Lola, yeah, that's Kim Novak.
Yeah. They were having fun.
Yeah, they camped it up a bit, didn't they?
Do you want to tell everyone, or shall I, Michael?
I'll own up. So, Marina was played by an extremely famous actress, right?
Yes.
Called Elizabeth Taylor, as it turns out. I said quite confidently to Claire towards the end of it, that is Rizzo from Grease, isn't it? Expecting her to be like, yeah, obviously. She had to explain that no, Michael, Elizabeth Taylor didn't play Rizzo in Grease. But I think we can all agree that she did look quite a lot like Rizzo from Grease.
Now that you say it, yeah, like, amazing.
Yeah.
That is Rizzo from Grease. Way. Oh yeah, they're both women.
And she had that whole sort of fuck you attitude, and
they had very similar hairstyles as well. It was like a slightly bigger Rizzo hairstyle.
Yeah.
And that kind of not cute, but kind of small thing. I don't know.
Petite.
Yeah, she's petite, but also a bit aggressive and stocky. She's a little bit stocky, and not just because she's called Stockard Channing.
Wow.
Stockard Channing was not in this film.
Pierce Brosnan was.
Oh, I just realised that way after the fact, and I'm gutted I didn't realise at the time.
Remind us who he was.
His best role.
He was Jamie, who was playing opposite Marina in whatever play she was in.
Mary, Queen of Scots.
Yeah, that's great. Do we know how old he was?
1980. I mean, he must have been famous by 1980. Like, was it a cameo?
Apparently he was uncredited.
He was 27.
He looked like he was 14.
I didn't recognise him at all. Who could draw their eye away from Elizabeth Taylor?
I suppose that's it. I guess he just got started a bit later. Because, yeah, that wasn't an amazing cameo, was it? Like, oh, look, it's Pierce Brosnan. I think that was just anyone.
I don't even think he had any lines.
No. He just got held to her bosom.
Oh, yeah. Who was your favourite character?
Miss Marple.
Yeah. Hard to beat. I liked Inspector Craddock and Lola.
They were all right.
Like Lola.
I thought she was very entertaining. I mean, yeah, a bit 2D. Overacting, but like I said, I thought she was having fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you sort of specifically want that from her role is the big diva actress.
Yes.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the priest as well.
Yeah.
And his confusion. That was good. Just that one scene where he was getting mixed up with the christenings. That was quite funny.
Yes. I felt a bit bad for him. Like, oh God, everyone's just fed up with him. trying to get him to understand. But
Fernando, who was your favourite?
Well, I have two favourites because they are incomparable. So I think the first victim, the annoying talking lady, I think I fell in love with her. She was just too beautiful. So she is automatically my favourite. But then,
surprised.
Yes. But then Marina, I think she was framed. I genuinely don't think she was the murderer. So
wow,
I'm on her side, and I will write the sequel just to clear her name.
Yeah,
excellent,
brilliant. I think you're right. Her husband had every motive, opportunity, access to drugs. The mirror repaired.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he was number 2 suspect for me early on.
Well, he went in and took all the drugs out of Marina's room, didn't he? That was a bit weird. Why did he do that? Weird.
I think it was because he thought she was suicidal and didn't want her to do it.
Interesting.
No. He knew that she needed that medicine.
She needed the medicine, yeah.
He was gaslighting her.
Yes. No. Men are evil.
Men are evil. There's one thing we've learned in the course of this podcast.
Yes, men and Princess Diana.
I haven't bothered with The Crown season 5.
That's what I'm led to believe. Charles was great and very handsome.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, and after Ella died, we saw him leaving her room, and then he pauses as though he's heard something and looks sort of sinister, and then decides to keep walking, and then the butler comes in the background and looks at him like, I wonder what he was up to.
I did wonder if it was him that had killed Ella.
Yeah.
Because at that point he'd worked out that Marina was the murderer. And
Ella would have exposed her.
Yeah.
Something's not adding up.
And we don't know for sure that he didn't do that either.
Yeah.
I think we all just assumed that it was Marina.
We're making a lot of assumptions here.
Yes.
Like, maybe it was Inspector Craddock. He had a shifty vibe.
Wow. Did you say it's never the inspector?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I wrote him off immediately.
I hope she wrote just one where it turned out to be Poirot or something.
So how many books did Agatha Christie write?
Oof. Oh, so many.
That's a great question.
In the hundreds, I think.
Christie.
I happened to read the other day that she wrote 70 Poirot stories, some of which were novels and some of which were books of short stories.
That's quite
interesting.
A lot.
There's a lot.
I've never written any novels.
Yeah.
Me neither. This website seems to think only 75. That can't be right.
Yeah, not even Google knows, so that means nobody knows.
I guess that's quite a lot of novels.
Oh, well. Symbolism? Wait. Oh.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Gosh.
The Virgin Mary holding the baby Jesus, that was a big motif in the film, right? What was that meant to give us?
That was the mirror. Or Marina was the reflection of that, but she was cracked.
Oh!
Okay.
You've done it again.
Saw herself in that picture, but broken.
Yeah, so she was looking into the mirror that was this happy mother with a healthy baby boy, and she didn't get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yes, Claire, you really need to write more novels.
I do, don't I?
That's good. I'm glad that's a satisfying explanation of why it was called The Mirror Cracked that doesn't involve me reading the entirety of The Lady of Shalott, which I don't think I can really face.
Speaking of shoddy poets.
I don't even know how long it is.
I think it's quite long, isn't it? Like an epic poem?
Don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's like a long narrative.
20 stanzas.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's not bad.
Oh, God, I could read that quickly before the meeting's over.
No, I wouldn't read it. I would just maybe read the summary or have someone read the summary for me.
Yeah, there's probably a Spark Notes.
Yeah. Or a radio drama. That's your thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I love a good radio drama. I don't know about a radio drama version of The Lady of Shalott, though. You might lose the poetry somehow.
Yeah, I walked along the Tay again the other day, and tickles me every time. The William McGonagall.
Oh, the McGonagall poem.
Somehow someone thought it was a good idea to carve into the side of the Tay.
That's great.
Oh, they're like, the beautiful silvery Tay. What a lovely day that we're all having. Hooray.
And he rhymes a lot of different things with the word buttresses.
Any more symbolism?
I didn't get much more than that. That was a solid one, though. That's great, and well done, Claire.
Thanks.
Yep. You've won symbolism this week.
Oh, yes.
I think you always win symbolism. You always
I think
have
that's
somebody
true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm glad I've got a skill.
Yeah, I do the music at the beginning. Fernando does the symbolism flute. You do the actual symbolism. Michael, what do you do?
I'm not sure I do anything now it comes to it.
Editing.
All I do is take what other people have done and take away from it.
No, you're Hazel.
No, you're like a sculptor,
you.
aren't you? You find the podcast inside all the bullshit.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, somewhere in what we just said was an excellent podcast that Wilf will want to listen to.
Oh, good old Wilf.
I will.
Hello.
I will.
No, you do the whip round at the beginning.
I tend to do the whip round at the beginning, don't I?
Yeah, you're like the leader, aren't you, Michael? So you've got to keep us on track.
You're
Jesus
what's
Christ.
his name? No,
Jesus Christ.
Captain Ahab?
Vegetables. No. Oh, maybe Captain. No.
I have no ambitions to be the leader of the podcast, but
what's his name? What's that man's name from the radio?
Unforgivably arrogant of me to turn down the role.
Who's the radio presenter?
Francis.
This is terrible. He does the whip round at the end of every radio show.
Melvin Bragg.
Melvin Bragg. You're Melvin Bragg.
Off of In Our Time with Melvin Bragg.
That's the one.
Yeah, great. So, Claire, you think the painting represented something of a mirror, and that the word "cracked" refers to Marina's own cracked, broken version of her lifestyle. Could you develop that for us?
No. And
Great.
now the South Bank show. Please remember to turn off your tits.
Your what?
Please remember to turn off your sets.
Oh, I see.
It was at the end of Spitting Image.
Okay.
Melvin Bragg telling people not to watch his show.
Okay.
Symbolism. No, I'm drawing a blank here. I don't think anyone was gay.
I think the husband was gay.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think the husband was gay. That's why he killed his wife. There's no other explanation.
Yeah, he was living in a time where he couldn't pursue his sexual desires, so they've manifested in murder.
And the detective from Scotland Yard was definitely gay.
100%. Yes, you're quite right.
Do you think maybe Lola was gay and that's why she was so mean to Marina?
Yes.
Right.
She was secretly in love with her. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, there was something... She was very much like the woman in The Haunting of Hill House. In The Haunting.
Theo,
yeah.
I'm just not convinced that there are any heterosexual characters in the film.
No. It's really... It's quite quite an underrepresented group, isn't it? The heteros in some of these films we've been watching.
This was Pink Narcissus.
This was Too Pink, Too Narcissus. Anyway, I'm glad we're doing... It says something about our little section of Let's See Who Was Gay corner that we've had a go at it here, and we've based everything on the interpretation that Fernando came up with, that Marina wasn't actually the murderer and that Miss Marple got it wrong, and it wasn't explored for the rest of the
film. Another winner, safely in the bank.
Anyway, it wasn't too bad a film.
It was okay. Yeah, it was
kind
pretty
of
good.
fun.
Yeah,
passed a little time.
That's all we're looking for.
Yeah, it was. Let me tell you, though, it was no company of wolves.
Certainly wasn't. What could be?
Any other thoughts from anyone?
Not from me, Melvin.
Right. Would anyone like any tea or coffee?
What's the phrase he always says? What have we not discussed that we should have discussed? Or...
Yes. Was there anything that we didn't get to that we should have done?
Oh, bloody Miss Marple spoiling the film at the beginning. Like, maybe some people who are in the cinema are just happy to wait for the tape to come back on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She didn't insist on spoiling it, though, did she?
No.
She wasn't going to say. She wasn't going to say.
Yeah, that's true. She was put on the spot a bit there.
She was just trying to get out of there. I was stopping her on her way out. She did take a certain joy in knowing, though, didn't she?
Do you think she does that every time she goes to see a murder mystery? Cracks it and then gets up in the middle, disruptively leaves, announces who did it.
Yeah. Don't go and see a whodunit with Miss Marple.
It was very annoying that movie at the start, because that is what every Poirot finishes with, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think this sort of put me off it as well. It was like as if they were saying, "Oh, it's 1980, and we're all fed up with whodunits now, and this is old hat, so we need to try and show that we're above it and show that we're better than doing another whodunit by having a whodunit at the start that we're going to make fun of, and then we'll get into the actual film." And that sort of worked for like Knives Out, where they were genuinely making a new thing that was an exploration of the genre. But for this, it was just like, and then they did a completely standard one that they actually didn't do a particularly good job of even.
Yeah.
There's
What haven't we talked about? Oral history, capitalism.
How it relates to the previous film and all our roles in this film.
Yep. What was the previous film?
We never remember the previous one, did we? Withnell and I.
Oh, yeah. It was about the tedium of the English countryside and the need to just find something to do.
Yeah, I like that.
The ever-present fear of being murdered in the country by drugs. Drugs! Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, drugs.
Opiates. Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Thanks for a lovely discussion.
Yes. Lovely. Shall I play the music?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Excellent.